Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with me, Najia. If you're new to the channel, today is the day I do an episode of Tiaras Tea Tarot, tarot cards, and we talk. I discuss some of the things that my viewers are writing in the comments, and I do a short reading or two at the end of this video for my subscribers. And by the way, subscribing is free and it helps me to do videos. So I'm going to start in right now with a couple of comments. A couple of comments. Oh my. So, first from Covington Jude, she says she's praying for, everyone in California, that everyone is safe from the fires. And she puts a lot of prayers, symbols, and love symbols. And then her handle is at MTT41. And she had written earlier about a really special meditation and prayer time that's happening on January 21st. I'm recording this on the 9th. So in a couple weeks, we have a special opportunity when everything is in alignment. So she writes, she wanted to remind people about that. I'll talk more about that in another video. And she says also she's praying for a lot of light for Los Angeles and all those who suffer, especially that their minds and hearts be open. She says that all these dramas serve to understand, to get a move on and evolve by abandoning power and respecting nature and spirit. And I will be reading Native Spirit, Native American Oracle deck later today. But I just wanted to talk a little bit. Take this, I've had this on for an hour and it's squeezing my head, my beautiful tiara from Egypt, actually. I would do research, months and months of field research in Egypt for my dance classes because I teach Egyptian dance. And last night I was speaking to my teacher from, I haven't seen her in, we figured it out, 9.5 years. She used to be here at my home every month. I would bring her in to teach every month. And she lives in California in the Los Angeles area. So I was on the phone with her for 2 months, 2 hours, sorry, 2 months, 2 hours, over 2 hours last night until the wee hours of the morning here in Philadelphia. And till about 2:30 in the morning, because I saw her Facebook burning up with posting all the fires. And I think at the time the Facebook had about 3 fires. And then we started talking, and she goes, "Oh my God, Najia, there's 4 fires now. 4 cities are burning." And by the end of the conversation, 6 cities were burning. And she said that she was safe so far because she's an hour away from the main area where the fires were happening. She was preparing for the fire. She does this every so often because they talk about these winds that come in, and they can be really heavy gusts. And the way things are, that happened last year in California, it was an unusual situation where they had a lot of rain after having a lot of drought and wildfire previously. And then what happened, because they had so much rain on dry earth, and the fires took down all the brush that would stabilize the hillside, so they had mudslides. and they can't have any dry brush there. So she had been clearing all her dry brush and her garden out and trying to get it taken out because you can't have it there. It can attract a fire. There's a large homeless population there we all should pray for as well, that they, have a lot of mental illness, a lot of problems, and just one cigarette with all that dry brush and immense droughts, that's been going on this year can start all these fires in cities that we normally, don't have these type of fires because, it's not populated with tons of trees like where they normally have the fires. So it's surreal. If you don't live in the United States, you may not be aware of what's going on. I know a lot of you are living in other countries and you're writing to me from all over the globe. And I know you're struggling to write in English. And then if you're not, I try to get everything translated on a different page to be able to answer you because I'm so happy that you're writing to me. I try my best. We'll see how much I can do. So you may not be aware of like the degree of craziness. It's the fires are beyond what they've ever been. And people can't build houses out of brick like they do here in Philadelphia. There's a lot of brick homes since the early 1600s here. So, um, but because of the earthquakes in California, they can only have a brick facade. So they have a lot of wood houses that they had built and to stabilize from the earthquakes. But, the fires are another story with a lot of population. So I know that prayer works. I know that prayer helps people. I think the best prayer, because we can't, we could try to collectively control the weather through prayer. But the one thing that we can do that I really believe in is praying for people to be able to connect to their angels and guides so that they open their hearts to listen, to use their senses, to use their intuitive senses called the clairs, psychic senses, sixth sense. There's many, many names for this, but everyone has that connection to spirit. But to function in the normal world, day to day 3D world, it's extremely distracting to get deep into that. It's almost like that's why people go off on retreats or people, become a yogi or go to an ashram, if they're not going to a week retreat or a weekend retreat. They may decide to take several months and do a pilgrimage somewhere in India and stay at an ashram because to get into that frame of mind is so completely different. And one of my goals through various things I do, through dance and working with our spiritual body, of course, working with the cards and talking about how to develop your intuition on my playlist called Intuition and Divine Design. Um, I really try to encourage everyone to open up, to feel and connect, right? To connect to that intuitive self, that voice, that vision, that knowing, because that's how everyone is going to be able to navigate in this world that is changing so rapidly. And, I had talked about my predictions about all the earth changes, and, there's going to be a lot of flooding, I see. And there's only so much you can prepare physically. The main thing is to prepare internally. I mean, do some things physically. Yes, it's smart to do that. But the main thing that's going to sustain you through all the changes and all the calamities is really being connected to spirit. So I really pray for my friend Sahra. This is my friend Sahra. You see how beautiful? This is when she lived in Egypt. Sahra Sayida, she's famous all over the world. She's a she's an amazing dancer, and she's a little older than me, so she's retired from performing for the most part. So she's focusing on teaching people her journey through Egypt courses, and she takes people to Egypt with her as well. And she's an amazing, amazing woman. So I'm praying for her. And just one more look at her because she's just, look at this. Look at the life she had. Not easy, but beautiful. And that was something that appeared in Spanish Vogue at one point many years ago. So, um, yeah, we're going to go through a lot of changes in the next few years. I do have some world predictions that I did load up on my world prediction playlist. You can watch that. But right now, I want to do some tarot cards for the collective and pull from Native Spirit. And I'm kind of going out of order. I'm going to do the Native Spirit first and then see what the tarot says. All right. So I open to divine white light to surround me, to connect my guides with the guides of the collective audience who need to hear this message, to make a strong, clear connection for everyone's highest goods, for the answer they need, the answers they need. All right, so I'm just gonna cleanse them a little bit, but let me do a little more. I like to pull out my sage seashell, and then I just light everything on fire. But I avoid my fingers. Listen, I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you think of, a lot of you are saying I'm really helping you heal and helping build your awareness. And you're watching a lot of my different videos, not just the ones on Keanu Reeves and Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio, all the celebrity request tarot. A lot of you are now branching out into all the other things I offer that are really, really important. Although I try to throw in some lessons, life lessons in the celebrity readings, as well as teach you how to read tarot while I'm doing the celebrity readings. So right now I'm just getting that. And the way Oracle work is I can read it different ways. I can read it the way the author intended with her book. And usually there's an author who writes a book, a small book that helps you connect to spirit through various imageries and meanings. And then there's an artist that does all the drawings. So sometimes I like to just go by the artwork and my intuition. And then other times I will read from the book because, the author puts so much work into it, and I should see what messages are there. All right, so I'm getting Spirit Keeper of the North. So this is the moon, right? Full moon. So there's snow. It almost looks like stars, but when you have a full moon that large, you wouldn't see bright stars like that. So it must be snow falling. And I'm going to get my glasses on. right? Oh, this is actually a photograph. I thought it was a drawing. Yeah, so there's a reflection of the moon upon the snow. So you see all the snow on the trees, and then the snow on the ground. So when I just go off of the illustration, the picture, because it's an actual photograph, um, the moon is the great illuminator at night. The moon will guide you to a certain extent because when the moon is full, it's reflecting all the beautiful fire from the sun, right? It's a big mirror. But because you can only really see the moon fully at night, it's also throughout many cultures the keeper of secrets and the keeper of wisdom, right? Things that are under the surface, things that are hidden. And there's a stillness in the night. We go into our dream realm where we can access other dimensions, mostly the fourth dimension, right? We can go into that dimension and everything can be kind of crazy. It's not like anything takes physical effort like it does here in the third dimension. And you can even fly, you can do all kinds of things. You can create right from thought, things will manifest. So the moon will take you into that realm through your slumber. And we have two reflections here in the cards, in the card. Oh, we also have the reflection of the light. Let's move that away. Let's move that. Oh, I can't. Let me just go over here. So the reflections I'm talking about are not the lights on my set. The reflections I'm talking about are the reflection on the snow, the coldness, that barrenness, that wanting to go within and go, ooh, right? And it's reflected on the cold surface. And then the moon itself is a reflective surface because it doesn't shine from itself. It's a mirror for the light of the sun because it's a white reflective surface. So that we have two reflective surfaces, and then throughout the atmosphere, there's tiny little reflective surfaces dancing. And that tells us that in the cold times, even though we're dealing with wildfires and our thoughts are there, and our prayers as well, that in the cold times where you feel left out in the cold, and for sure, these people, even though they're in sunny California, they are left out in the cold. So she was telling my friend Sahra, this Sahra who lives there, right? Sahra, she was telling me of all her friends. And she's, as each city burns, she's trying to contact people through Facebook a little bit and or then if she needs to directly, and she's torn between I don't want to use up their battery. Um, so she's going on her Facebook and seeing what they post on Facebook and trying not to reach out to them much other than just seeing what you need me to do to help you because they are left out in the cold. They have lost so many people, just my friend knows, do not have a home anymore. And these are all people of a certain age, in their 60s and their 70s, with lack of job opportunities at this point, and they've lost everything. And there are dancers on Facebook saying, do you need this? You know, we can send you our costumes. We can send you this. We can send you that. And they said, you don't understand. It's not like we have a closet yet to put any clothes or costumes into, or, you know, because dancers have a lot of costumes left over, you know, so we're thinking maybe you need costumes, you could sell the costume or you could wear the costume and because your costumes are gone. So you're saying we have no closets, we have no drawers. You know, they're all saying we're living in our cars, except one of the dancers, she was fleeing, and right before she tried to flee, a big tree fell right on her car and crushed it. Now, had she been in that car sooner, she would have died. So not only is she homeless, she has no car for shelter. So the big thing that everyone was asking for, we need underwear and socks. Just send us underwear and socks or, you know, Amazon something, you know, but there's nowhere that, you know, they could have to send it to somebody's house they know that has a home still. So it's really hard. It's a hard. They are left out in the cold. They're left out in the cold, even though it's a warmer climate there compared to here in Philadelphia. It's below freezing right now. In California, it's sweater weather. But at night, it's cold, and people have no shelter of their own other than a car if they're lucky. So I'm tuning into that. Oh my God, I lost everything. I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting upon that, you know, after the shock that they're going through, you know, that extreme heat. And then, oh my God, I'm left out in the cold now, right? That contrast, those polarities, you know, between fire and ice, or hot and cold. It's really hard, you know. So I'm I'm going to read from the book since I should read from the book. And whatever we are, you know, if you're tuning into this, there's usually a message from your guides, you know, through my readings, just me doing a collective. Okay. Even when I do the celebrity readings, you may hear something or see certain cards I pull, and you're like, whoa, I feel that right here. I feel that. Or in my gut. I feel it in my gut, my heart, my gut. And that's your angels and guides saying, I know this reading is supposed to be for Keanu or Johnny or Leonardo, but if you feel like that's intuition, that's your guides, that's them tugging at you, trying to give you a message. So if you're meant to hear this, you're meant to hear it. So it says, oh, I need to sip my tea from my beautiful teacup. These were my mom's teacups. By the way, this is what I'm drinking. It's different. Meadowland, hoping to get sponsorship to keep me going on YouTube. Meadowland, it's this incredible elixir. You can add it to tea, you can add it to water. I've already had a lot of caffeine, so I just, so you can see, it's just real pale. I added a capful to my to to boiling water, and it's delicious. Anyway, so having a cup of tea is very grounding. It's very like just brings you in, and it's soothing. Okay, so just why we do why I'm doing this. And tiaras are just really meant, you know, for dress up, you know, just for dress up, just to be fun and playful, because even though you're an adult, you should still play, right? Maybe that's why everyone likes celebrities, because they, you know, it's a serious business, but when they're acting, they're getting in a way to they're getting to dress up and play for a living. So This card says, take time for contemplation, turn within. Was I just saying that intuitively? Connect with your ancestors, incubate ideas, mend relationships, watch your dreams, meditate. The answers are inside you, waiting to be heard. Stay warm. Create dreams for your future. Repair whatever is broken in your home and your life. So now the people without a home they're just going to repair what's broken in their life and rebuild. Forgive those people and situations that you've been dragging around for a while. Your native spirit wants you to know that in the medicine wheel, the north is the direction that symbolizes the darkest time of the moon. It also represents the elder time of life and even a time of endings. Wow. Wow, this card is so accurate for what we were talking about or collectively talking about. Because I had to read what you said as opposed to speak to you. Pulling the spirit keeper of the north indicates that it's time to take measure of your life. Explore what's working and what's not working. What and whom do you need to release? Ooh, people have been forced to release. It's also the time to make repairs in your physical environment. Well, yeah, as well as make repairs to your body. Additionally, this is the time to begin to dream and make plans regarding your future. Your ancestors are close at this time. Call on them. They want to help you. If you live in the southern hemisphere and draw this card, then I would read this as a reversal. I would read the southern hemisphere card, but I'm just going to read this because we were thinking of people in the northern hemisphere in California. And it just wants you, it's recommending that, during this journey that you stand outdoors at night facing north. So you could face the North Star and you inhale the darkness. You just take a deep breath in. You just inhale the darkness and you sink into your own depth. In the stillness, the ancient wisdom emerges. So those hidden secrets of old will emerge. Sorry, I'm all itchy. All my hair is all scratching me. Oh, so not sure how long I've been recording. It's like a long time. I think I'm gonna do, normally I do tarot as well, but this was a longer video than I expected, and I want to respect your time limits. So thank you again for joining me. Please help the channel grow and so I can do multiple readings for everybody and teach you things just by liking, sharing, subscribing, playing the videos till the end, clicking on the commercial. These all help me to continue doing what I do. And then if you're feeling generous, you can become a member and you get special perks. Uh, Let me know what you want me to talk about in the next Tiaras Tarot Talks. Let me know what you would like me to talk about. I do honor the majority of requests if there's multiple people commenting about the same thing. And then you will have more Keanu videos because I've been getting requests for that again. And there is a video I might release tonight for his 2025 tarot. And I'm going to put some new things. I listened to it and I'm like, well, it's not totally private. I could release it. A lot of times people, oh, by the way, when you ask me questions, be really specific. Like, act as if I didn't do the reading or the video because I don't remember. And sometimes people are asking me questions from a video I posted 3 months ago. And they're asking me like something, and I'm like, what? I have to watch the whole video again to answer your question. That's number one, especially if it's an older video. But also, I'm kind of in an altered, when I do those long tarot readings, I'm in an altered state. I'm actually surprised when I do watch the video. I'm like, I don't remember saying any of that. And I don't remember what I said. I don't remember. Don't remember, except on a rare occasion. I'll remember the imagery, but I don't remember what I said. I don't remember. So just act as if I I don't remember. And that might, spark in my memory, like when you start to include specifics in your question, because I want to answer you. I appreciate you taking the time to write and inquire about something. And remember, inquiries are only in the comments, not through my email. My email is for my business, and my phone is for my business and personal. I have another phone for personal things, but it's for business. Um, I get thrown by that, and I had to have someone go through my emails like once a week to filter hundreds of emails out just to give me the business ones. And so because I'm overwhelmed in my mind, and I need to keep my mind clear as a psychic, right? So if you need a consultation, whether it's an email because there's a language issue, you may need an email consultation. A phone is preferable, or, you know, um, but I can do that. I have a 15-minute option. So so before writing pages of what's going on in your life, that gets filtered out by my assistant, who's my student, just schedule a consultation. And then I'll give you a different email that, that goes right to me. Okay? That goes right to me. And nobody else will read it. All right? So take care. Many blessings to you. Bye.